Please introduce yourself, ladies.
My name is Savannah Pecani.
And I'm Lauren Meshling.
Okay, and the name of your show is?
Mad Sounds.
Mad Sounds. Now, how did you come up with this name, Mad Sounds?
It's actually, we stole it from an Arctic Monkeys song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
They were like our favorite band in high school, so...
So you guys know each other for a while?
No.
Actually, we went to completely separate high schools, but somehow we lived very similar lives.
Yeah, in completely alternate universes.
Yeah.
But and then we met when we came to college here.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Redlands, which is like Riverside, San Bernardino area.
California.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I'm from San Diego.
Okay, brilliant. Then what made you decide that radio was going to be something you were going to get into here at KUCI or UC Irvine?
Well, for me, like, I knew since I was a kid, like, I wanted to join the radio. My mom's best friend did, like, local radio, and then I really liked Hot Donna from that 70s show. She was, like, a role model when I was younger, and I was like, that's just what I'm going to do. I have to do radio. So, it was, like, a priority by the end of first year of college. I, like, took the class and everything.
And your major?
We're both actually film and media studies and journalism majors.
What about you? How did you get involved in radio when you, like, got into campus?
Well,
I know I'm switching back and forth, but
yeah,
I want to make sure I bring in talk to both of you.
We were friends from day one, and we both found out about KUCI, and we're like, oh, this sounds perfect. We found out it's really easy. All you have to do is take a training class, and once you pass your test, you can have your show.
Mm-hmm.
And most people actually just DJ by themselves, but we just like have this energy, and we work so well together, and so we thought we should do it together.
Yeah, there was one show a couple of weeks ago that Lauren couldn't make it. She had like other plans that night, and so I had to do the show by myself, and it was so weird. Like, I was really, really nervous. One of my friends came with me to the studio just to be in there, and he was like, you sounded really nervous. And I said, I'm so used to just having, someone sitting across for me to talk to.
Yeah, and I had to sub for someone else's show because he couldn't make it, and I just like didn't have anything to say when I was by myself. It's like I can't just sit here and talk to myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You guys are very natural together, so that's a very cool thing.
It was cool that like the second we met, we were like, okay, we're gonna be like really great friends now. Like there's no turning back. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about your favorite music.
Yeah.
I mean, you both look completely different in terms of how you dress.
Oh, okay.
But so I know there's different music here, right? So let's hear it.
It's pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a lot of ways, like a lot of the music we play on our shows, we play a lot of like garage rock and punk, and we have that in common.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of English bands, and then I'm really into ska. Actually, so I've been introducing her to a lot of that, and she's been showing me some like funk and soul, and we just bring everything together. And I'm really not picky when it comes to music. Like I can find something to appreciate in pretty much any genre. So
Okay.
Yeah. If you want like specific artists, like I said, like Arctic Monkeys were like the most important band to me in high school.
Yeah,
but,
and the Strokes.
And the Strokes, they were like, the top. But now, Blood Orange is my favorite. I don't know if you've heard of them. Yeah, he was at FYF. It's like a whole project by Dev Hines, who's kind of just, like, he's so brilliant the way he, like, writes everything himself, and the music is so cool, and I could talk about Dev Hines for a long time.
What constitutes a good song?
Okay, this is
now we're getting deep now.
Okay.
So let's talk about what's a good song, whether it's funk, reggae, rock, metal, whatever. What to you is a good song? Lyrically, musically, what is it?
I'm gonna quote Ezra Koenig of Vampire Weekend. He said, if this is like not exactly answering your question, but it was the first thing I thought of. He said like, bad music is music that people don't listen to, and that doesn't exist, so there's no such thing as bad music, basically. So, like, I don't really want to, like, create a hierarchy of...
Yeah.
You know,
totally get it.
It's really just, like, taste, like, individual taste. People like different things, but, like, that doesn't necessarily mean one thing is better than...
I guess a general rule would be, like, just music that makes me want to dance. Like, I really, really love to dance.
And do you guys play an instrument? Have you ever played an instrument? Or are you guys just not musically inclined?
Well, okay, I love music. I love the idea of making music, but there's like a part of me that's like has this obstacle of fear to really dedicate myself to that. I played flute when I was a kid, and right now I'm trying to learn how to play bass. But,
great instrument.
Yeah, it's my
very
favorite.
unappreciated.
Okay, yeah, if that's how you define a good song for me, it's like if there's a really great bass line, then that's a good song.
Okay. I played piano for years, and then I decided I wanted to switch to guitar, but that was like at a time in high school when there was just too much going on, so I just gave up instruments completely. And then lately I've been wanting to learn how to play drums, but they're so expensive, so
right.
Yeah.
As soon as I get a kit, I really want to learn.
That's cool. So, like your school week.
Well, fortunately, we have all the same classes.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we live together.
Oh, God.
Yeah, identical days, pretty much. And this quarter...
But we don't work at the same places. We have separate jobs.
Right.
So that's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But this quarter, our Tuesdays and Thursdays are basically class all day long. And then Monday, Wednesday, we only have one class in the mornings. And then we've also been making a short film.
Yeah, we're in a club. The Film and Media Studies Department at UCI has a really excellent program called FADA, the Film Arts Drama Alliance. And fall and winter quarters, you get into teams to make a 10-minute short movie. So that's what we were doing this quarter, and it's taken over our lives. It's a good thing. Like, I love movies. Almost, like, music and movies are, like, up there as my top two favorite things in the world. So yeah, it's like really, really stressful, but it's like fun stress, if that exists.
Yeah. She's the director, and I'm the producer.
So we
both got a lot of work, and she's got like a very specific vision of how she wants this movie to look. So we've had to do shots like over and over and over again. But
hey, wait a minute.
It's gonna turn out perfect because your vision is coming to life, and it's gonna be amazing.
Okay. And what's it being filmed with? What are you using to film?
Our friend Natalie is our director of photography. She's got like a Canon Rebel fancy camera.
Okay, so you guys are doing the whole real thing then, as far as the camera.
This is not.
I thought you'd like be doing like iPhones or iPads or something, and then
no gimmick. No, this is like even Natalie's camera's awesome, but there are people in the film program that have even like better cameras. You know, they take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And we have access to editing equipment on campus and mics and lights and green screen. Like, it's basically a full-on production, but in 10 minutes and on campus.
Okay, so you guys are doing a short film. Short films are technically what, anything under 60 minutes, is that correct? Or
I think so, but for this club specifically, I think it's
10 minutes.
15.
10 minutes is the maximum for this our club. Yeah.
So 10 minutes of work, how many hours have you put into it so far? 10,000?
Yeah,
pretty much.
In this quarter, we meet once a week just for meetings to plan everything. We've met once a week for an hour for the last 6 to 7 weeks. We finished the writers worked hours long writing the script. The director, I'm not the only director. There's another one. We have co-directors, and he and I have spent at least 4 hours for 2 weeks, planning out all the shots and figuring out what we want to do.
And the shoots.
The actual shooting. And that was all before actual shooting. That was all pre-production. Oh, and then we had to cast it, so we went through, hours of auditions, because goes with the drama department. So they work with the actors in the drama department.
That must be kind of tough if you're forced to work with just the school's drama department, right? Because what if you don't have the talent there when you walk out around?
Well, fortunately, UCI's drama department is one of the best in the country. Okay. So we've got some really top tier actors on campus. That makes the job a lot easier. But you do have to think about that in terms of the characters before you write. You're limited to 18 to 25-year-olds generally, you can't really write a script with a child unless you somehow can get a child, you know what I mean? So there are those complications. And then in general, more girls auditions than boys, so you have to take that into consideration of the demographics of the cast.
And then also stage acting can be a lot different from film acting. And a lot of the people that audition are more trained in stage productions.
Right.
So that's
it's
another
different
thing
for
we
them
have to consider.
When they jump into film, and it's a whole new world for them,
They're used to standing out front, facing the stage.
Super theatrical.
Over dramatic.
Yeah.
And you're
it's
no.
The camera's right here, we can see you.
Yeah. No need to yell. Do you guys have any type of other project that you already are conceiving in your head that, all right,
totally.
as soon as this is done, let's talk about that. I want to hear about that. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because obviously college girls are going to be watching this also.
Okay.
So I want you to kind of talk about your experience, or even plant a seed in some of them. So what are you working on now?
Well, we've been trying to get in touch with a lot of the local bands to make music videos, actually. Like, we just had Red Undead on the show.
That's brilliant.
We wanted to start like a freelance music video making service,
basically,
if that's possible.
Just combining both of our loves for music and film. And
it could be done. Totally see you guys doing that. Totally see you doing it.
We just need, like, to get in contact with more bands and then the time to actually do it. Fortunately, there's no, like, FODM filmmaking spring quarter, so we'll have, like, way more time to work on our own projects, you know. But, like, literally every day, Lauren and I are like, that would be a great film, you know, just...
Yeah, just like in our everyday conversations, we're like, maybe that could be our next Zot film.
Yeah, so, Zot film is like the name of the club. Cause the anteater, like the UCI little like mascot is the anteater, and he says Zot. So we try to be school spirited.
Your own screenplays and doing your own movies. Then you could do your own music.
Yeah.
You do your soundtracks and just bring in studio musicians.
Oh, write our own music.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, he's creating a whole industry.
Because you know, a lot of people when they're doing their movies, some of the movies have been written around songs.
Right.
So if you guys can do that, and I can see you guys doing that. So, and plus, I think you get your voices sound brilliant on the air.
Oh wow!
So I think that if you guys just work on some harmonies, they would sound fantastic. So
that's high praise, Lauren.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, seriously, if I didn't think you guys had it, then I wouldn't say it. All right. So the future of music. You know what I mean by that is everybody's talking about how music's changed so much. I don't think it's changed at all personally. I just think it's a different wave, a different generation. If anything's changed, it's technology.
Yeah.
And have you seen that influence what you do here at KUCI as a radio station? And if so, is it a positive or negative?
I've noticed when we tell people that we're DJs on the radio, they think we're like spinning tracks live over the air, like
mixing things
and like
making electronic music.
Yeah, and it's like no, like so, like the terminology, the understanding of radio has changed, based on like more electronic influences in everyday life, I guess. But I don't know if that's positive or negative, because then when we tell them what we actually do, there's like a second of disappointment. But then they're like, actually, that's really cool too. Yeah.
A second of disappointment. Do a lot of your listeners, are they listening to it on the radio, or do you find they're listening to it on their cell phones?
Well, it's hard to track that because we can track the listeners that stream it live. Because you can like literally count and keep track of how many people click the link to stream. But you can't keep track of people who listen on the radio. Like, there's no way to, like, count them, because if they're just tuned in for, like, a second and then they switch, you know, like, does that count or not, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, we've got some pretty, like, steady listeners over streaming.
Yeah.
But I can't say how many people listen in the radio.
No
just
idea.
From, yeah.
I feel like most of the people that call in, though, are listening online.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice that we have the ability to do that, because KUCI doesn't cover a very broad area, and now it's
music. Again, let me go back to that. What do you see music,
yeah,
you know...
Jeez.
And the reason why I say it is because when you watch the Grammys, American Music Awards, a lot of it is very R&B influenced right now as far as the mass media. But as far as what you guys are doing here, still very underground. I mean, do you see that coming back? Like,
I don't know. It's hard to say because, like, I listen to a lot of underground R&B too.
Right.
So it kind of just depends on where you're looking, and in the context that you're talking about, because there are a lot of like underground bands from Orange County, like anything in the Burger Records or Lollipop labels, that are like Lollipops in LA and Burger Records in Fullerton, and they all pick local bands. So if you talk to people about those bands in Orange County, they're like, oh, that's like super popular music. But then if you go to like
San Diego,
or even just where I live, like near Riverside, all of a sudden it's like they don't know what that is. So it's hard
That's
to
cool,
predict
though.
any future.
It is.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I don't know, everyone talks about social media when it comes to like the future of music, and it's become like a cliche thing.
What do you
but
think?
It's like so crucial. Like I wouldn't know about any of these bands if it weren't for social media.
Right.
In particular, what aspect of social media? Facebook, Twitter?
Mainly Tumblr, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. Tumblr's like the main one, I think, like because people are. Like bands are able to like share their music directly to the fans.
Yeah, like we've had a lot of bands follow us on our KUCI blog, just trying to promote their music.
Themselves, because like all these small underground bands have their own blogs, and then they share their music, and then it gets reblogged, and it's just like a great way of sharing. Because like with Bandcamp and Facebook and SoundCloud, it's kind of hard to like share music directly to somebody else. On that,
yeah, it's just kind of posted and it's out there.
But like Tumblr has like the ability to exchange, which is good. That's how it. Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. For high school students, particular females,
Okay.
what advice would you give to a high school junior or a senior who is thinking about radio, thinking about the major that you're in? I mean, I'm sure things have changed for you since you were a junior, and now that you're here, you're like, wow, what advice would you give that person, especially if we're talking to that one student who's kind of shy? What would you tell that high school girl?
First off, if you're interested in radio, do it, because it's like the best thing that's happened to me on campus.
Definitely.
You meet so many cool people, because when you're automatically surrounded by people that love music as much as you do, like there's like a bond already created, and even if you don't like the same music, just the fact that like it's that important to you really means something in creating friendships and stuff.
And as for the majors we're in, I think there's like this idea that it's not really practical or a way that you should go about life.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Hi.
But I think if it's something that you love, you should just go ahead and always do it.
Brilliant.
And things will have their way of
Like, the
working
phones
out.
weren't working, but I got one
Nice.
to work.
Yeah, like the world can't be full of
we
only
said you wanna
doctors and
call me
lawyers.
back
There
now?
have to be creative, cool people too.
Like you guys.
We're
There you
trying.
go.
Yeah.
Well, listen, again, thank you so much for your time and your advice to students, and also for sharing what you guys feel about your own music and your own likes and dislikes about the industry. So,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, we just like being able to talk about music with people anytime.
brilliant. All right. Cheers.
Thank you.